Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thanks so much for dropping by this video. I just received my all-time favorite comment on this channel, and it just an experience. The comment is, the teachings that we have no self, our individual existence is illusion, and sense of self is just a creation of the brain, have left me scarred with anxiety and depression. I'm trying to find counter arguments to non-duality, but find it hard to be convinced that there isn't truth in the teaching. Do you believe that we have individual souls that exist independent of the brain? If so, why do people who experience the non-dual state say so strongly that there is no self? Most say that you have to experience it for yourself. And once you realize it, it's so self-evident that it's even beyond a concept that can be wrong. I absolutely hate it, but I'm afraid it's just my ego who does not want to accept it. So thank you so much to the beautiful soul who wrote this, and I can so relate and connect to so many of the things you wrote there. So first and foremost, what needs to be recognized is that what's being taught today actually isn't non-duality. Most of what's being taught is more accurately called Neo-Advaita, or neo non-duality, meaning it's kind of like, the analogy I have is, so what we've been presented with is like someone saying, okay, I'm going to teach you the alphabet, and teaching the letters A, B, and C. We've been given a completely incomplete, radically incomplete presentation of what non-duality it is, what non-duality is. So first and foremost, to this beautiful soul who reached out, that's the first thing I want to say is, actually, you probably haven't been introduced to non-duality. You've been introduced to a few pieces of it. And it sounds like you've been introduced in a very unskilled manner, as are most people. Most of the satsangs out there are the I and C without the rest of the alphabet. It's kind of like most of the teachers out there are just kind of like giving the end game without any logical, reasonable, pragmatic, or even systematic way to get there. And yeah, so that's my first response to you is, and my second response is, I hear you. I hear, what you, let's see, it's left you scarred with anxiety and depression. Non-duality, it took me to the brink of suicide multiple times, and I'm not the only one. We know we have at least, knowledge of at least 2 people who committed suicide at modern non-duality. Neo-Advaita took me to the brink of suicide. It's public knowledge that 2 people have killed themselves at Neo-Advaita ashrams, and a third connected with a Neo-Advaita community. And that's just the ones we know about. I would wager there are thousands of Neo-Advaita suicides and people who have just gone crazy. I personally know 2 people one who had a psychotic break, and one who is just shattered, shattered. I don't want to say permanently shattered, from poorly taught non-duality. So the thing is non-duality taught poorly, which it is, like across the board, is like, it'd be like, let's pretend for a moment that you think I'm enlightened, which I'm not, and you come to me seeking teaching, and you really trust in me and believe in me. Let's say you are heterosexual, and then I start telling you, well, actually you're homosexual, and you just need to realize that. Now, what a twist. What a twist in your reality, in your being, in your sense of identity. then I just keep repeating it over and over and say things like, well, oh, it's just your resistance that you don't realize that you are that. Now, why am I using sexual orientation as a metaphor for this? I'm not making any kind of political or no kind of political or statement. Hold on one second. I'm not making any statement about, but what I'm talking about is non-duality. So our sexual orientation is so fundamental as a person, as our personality, to our being, to how we live in this world, right? Well, non-duality is even more fundamental. Like, just think about that for 1 second. What it is to be in a male or female, what it is to be heterosexual or homosexual or bisexual. Fundamental aspects of our experience. Yet non-duality goes even deeper to our root sense of self. And that's why non-duality is like the most delicate brain surgery, the most delicate form of surgery. And the people who are out there teaching it to this day, they're not treating it like that. They go out, they give lectures, they give teachings, a room full of 10 people or 100 people, and they give the same teaching to everyone, which is completely wrong. Completely wrong. It's unethical, actually. It's beyond unethical. It's all I have to say is I would not want to be in their shoes karmically next time they cycle around. So here's the thing. So first of all, I love this comment, and I'm going to be making multiple videos in response to it. So thank you so much. You ask, is the self unreal? Here's the thing. Most people who are teaching non-duality, again, they're not teaching non-duality. They're teaching non-duality or Neo-Advaita, and they don't have a complete, full understanding. Here's what Adi Shankara, the founder of the non-dual school, had to say in terms of what's real and what's not real. First, Brahman alone is real, our true self, our true nature. Brahman, infinite blissful conscious. That alone is real. 2, the universe is unreal. Everything that is not Brahman, everything that is not pure, infinite consciousness is unreal. That's point number 2. Here's Adi Shankar's point number 3, which you're probably not going to hear in your average Neo-Advaita gathering. The universe is Brahman. So again, Brahman is real. This translation says Brahman is real. I think it's Brahman alone is real. Point number 1. Point number 2, the universe is unreal. Point number 3, the universe is Brahman. So is according to actual Advaita Vedanta, is yourself unreal? Yes. But we need to also be clear in Advaita Vedanta, the definition of unreal is that which is not eternal. That's the other thing that's not taught. This thing of real and unreal gets swung around like a baseball bat. And so I'm not surprised you feel scarred. It's crazy. It's insanity, really, is what it is. The modern satsang movement is fucking insane. I stay away from it. And this illusionary self, this little self, according to the founder of Advaita Vedanta, Adi Shankara, is Brahman. Ramana Maharshi, most people don't know this, he literally left the ashram that was built around him multiple times in tears, saying, I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. On the day that Gandhi was assassinated, a journalist came by and asked him, "How do you feel? Are you grieving?" And his response was, "What does it matter?" I don't remember the exact words, but these are almost the exact words. "What does it matter what I'm feeling? We're all grieving." And when Gandhi's favorite bhajan was played on the radio that night, as a way of honoring him, tears streamed down his eyes. So this idea that we have to eliminate the personality and the personality is an illusion. Without being held in the proper, full context of actual Advaita Vedanta, it's a form of spiritual violence. End of story. Almost, as I said, it's taken me to the brink of suicide multiple times. I know people who have had psychotic breaks, non-duality to the masses, and not forming individual one-on-one relationships with the person, doesn't know what they're doing. And it's a very delicate dance. And I'm sorry to hear that you've experienced these such negative impacts. You're not alone. It's like a disease. It's a rampant spiritual disease out there. Grateful you found this channel. I hope it's helpful, and I will post some more responses to your very beautiful comment. Take care, dear friends.